Okay, so what we're going to be doing here is going back into this bottle, and we're going to go back in time, and we're going to change the threads that are on it. The threads that are on the bottle, and we're going to do the top, we'll do the bottle cap, is were made with the thread tool, and the thread tool is really for making threads for primarily metal like bolts and screws. Can be made for other things, but I want to show you a way how to make a more kind of bulbous, rounded kind of a threads, which are be nice for plastic and some glass, which don't have quite the tolerance that metal does. Okay, so what we're going to do here is roll back in time down to where these were created, and we're going to delete them off. So we're going to remove the original threads that were created for this top, and we're going to replace those. Okay, so what we're going to be using is the coil tool. So I'm initially going to click and place the base at the top, and then we're going to draw it out from the center, and then I'm going to switch to where I can look at it from a straight down. And then what I want to do is drag it out enough where it just kind of slightly penetrates into that plastic ring around the outside. Okay, so if we come around, we can see what it's initially created. And then what we're going to do is pull it in. And then we're changing the depth of the actual threads. And now what we're going to do is grab and pull it down so it fits within the cap itself as far as the height that's in there. Now I'm leaving it on cut right now, even though I don't want to do cut because it allows me visually to see what's going on with it being red. Okay, so I'm going to make them not quite as prominent, so they're going to be a little bit smaller. Okay, that's looking pretty good. But you'll see it no longer cuts to the outside. So we'll go to the top and we'll pull it back out some so that it's clipping into the edge, which it'll turn red when I clip into that edge. There we go. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay. Looks like it's still a little tall, so let's adjust it a little bit more. That's pretty good. But I want a little bit more space between the threads because I'm going to put a fillet in there, so I need a little more gap in there. Now we've lost our red, so we're going to go back to our top view here. We can see it and pull it back out just a little bit so it clips red. Then we know it's clipping into that plastic, inside of that plastic top. Okay, we're going to squeeze it just a little bit tighter. Give us a little bit more space. And then needs to come back just a hair. And then I need to make sure that it's internal and not external, so that the threads are on the inside, not the outside. And that's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to pull it in and then back out just enough to clip into it. and then I'm going to create it as a new body. I want it as a new body so I can still do some manipulation to it, because it needs to be moved down. Okay, so out on the side, click modify to move. Move and copy, and then we're going to pick it. Then we're going to use world space for our axis, and then we'll pull it down so that it's sort of centered in there. That looks pretty good. Okay, we can go ahead and join them together. And now I need to put that fillet on the inside, so I'm going to go back down before the join, and I'm going to put the fillet in there to kind of round this. Maybe about right there, which looks good. Okay, I need to put the ends on it, so I'm going to hold down the control key, and then I can pick the ends and scroll around over here, holding down the control key again, pick those ends, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to click OK. Alright, so then we're going to adjust it a little bit more, come down just a little bit so it centers a little bit better on our edge. That looks good. Okay, we're pulling forward time to go around our join, and now I'll be able to fill it around the edge. And it's pretty sensitive, so I'm accidentally pulling it a little bit more than I should be, so it's better at this point to come in and start typing in a size. And that's still too big. So let's look at maybe 0.2. That looks pretty good. A little bit, maybe a little bit bigger than that. And that looks pretty good. 0.4. Okay, and there we go. Now that's how you go back in time and replace something. So hopefully this helps you with understanding how to go back in time and redo something, which is one of the great advantages of using Fusion 360, is that we can do that, which you can't do in a polygonal modeler like Max or Maya.